Hello, everyone. My name is Nahuel. I'm one of the co-founders of Pycno, where we're bringing agriculture to the 21st century. Our whole mission is to be able to create tools for farmers so they can create and increase their yields while using less resources. But first of all, let me tell you a bit about myself. I was a pretty cute kid once, but not anymore. So I was born in Argentina in a farm where I spent most of my life there, and I learned everything related to the market on how agriculture works over there. And it's not until I went to study in England robotics and mechatronics where I decided to join both of my passions, technology and agriculture, to solve one of the biggest problems of this century, food security. So we all know that in agriculture, one of the biggest issues that we have today is the lack of information from remote locations like farms. By that I mean the good quality empirical data that you can get from farms directly and in real time to the people who take the decisions in farming today. So we talked to a lot of farmers and agronomists around the world, and we listed the things that they wanted to create. And by that we created the ultimate weapon for any farmer and agronomist, which is the product that we have today. A product that you can remotely measure several parameters of the farms and directly get all that information online to the the fingertips of every farmer. So these sensors measure key parameters of the soil and the air, things like soil moisture, electroconductivity, temperature, humidity and temperature of the air, and solar radiation. And it's completely maintenance-free thanks to a solar panel and very easy to use for everyone to implement in their farms. But we don't stop right there. We don't only give you the sensors themselves. We don't only give you also the communications from the sensors to the internet, but we also provide you with the dashboard where you can actually display all this data online and in real time to any farmer. Apart from that, our business model is not only selling the hardware itself. We have a freemium model on this dashboard where people can, for free, visualize all this data. And later on, if they're interested, they can buy a pro bonus on our software, where we actually give them calculations and some parameters and analytics for them to use, like disease control or force control and such. So this here, it's Hector. Hector is one of our users. He's been using our sensors for the last year. And he recently reported an increase in the quality and quantity of the crops for 15%, and also a decrease in the amount of expenses on resources, like electricity, water, fertilizers, pesticides, for over 30%. That would mean that he was able to pay for the cost of those sensors in just 3 months. This is a representation of what our competitors look like at the moment. They are very difficult to use, very complicated to be able to utilize and understand. And honestly, they are even very hard to get because we actually buy them all to compare how well we sense those parameters compared to our competitors. And I have to say that it takes me at least 6 months to try and get them. Apart from that, we are located, well, we have few sensors around the world. We have around 100 of those scattered around the world in different kind of crops, different kind of topologies, different kind of climates. And the main reason, and recently we also have some in India, Nigeria, and Kenya too. And one of the main reasons why we tackle those countries is because we're here to solve a real world problem. We don't want to be just a gadget for the highest 1% of the population. And by definition, we need to have a device that can work everywhere else. So thank you all for listening. My name is Nahuel. We're Pycno, where we're bringing agriculture to the 21st century. Thank you.
If you look, there are many competitors doing what you are trying to do. And if you ask any farmer, he is currently worried about talking to startups. I mean, because every startup comes and tells him that he is going to change his economics and gives him better ROI. And yours also seem to be a similar pitch, right? You talk to any farmer in the Western world, he doesn't want to talk to startups because they give him so much of information, he doesn't know what to do about that. So how are you going to resolve that part?
Great. So there's always some kind of people that are interested in these products. I agree. Farmers tend to be very stubborn. So that's not our kind of customer at the moment. We try and get directly the people who are like, we call them the geeky farmers, people that want to, that are more interested into the data that these devices provide. And in some cases, like in India, we don't go directly into the customers themselves. We speak directly to the government, and those are the ones that are very interested in the product, for example.
Sure. And one sensor would last, it would be good enough for how much an amount of land?
A second, sorry?
one sensors of yours would
Yeah.
be good enough for how much acreage of land?
Yeah, so we recommend to put one every 5 to 10 hectares, but that depends completely a lot on the amount of data that you want to gather, later on the topology of the land, the crop that you have, the irrigation that you have. So it depends a lot. But we recommend that with 5 to 10 hectares per sensor is a good resolution for you to have an idea on what's going on in your farm.
Could you please tell me more about the business model? Is it by selling sensors or selling services?
Sure. So we sell the sensors, the hardware itself, at more than 100% profit margin. Later on, we also sell the communications because it has a SIM card, an M2M SIM card in it. So we sell also that. And later on, we from the software itself, it's freemium, so it's free for people to use. But once we give analytics and recommendations and notifications, we add an extra cost. And later on, we have another way of getting a revenue stream, which is being able to sell that data to agencies, for example.
Can you please elaborate on the on the 15% yield increase?
Sure. So a lot of people are reporting that because they normally used traditional methods on irrigating or using fertilizer, which means that it's on a schedule basis, which means like, okay, every second week, put fertilizer, and every fourth week, put these pesticides, and like that. In our system, we are able to follow the phenological stage, depending on growing degree days and such. And by that, by following and giving directly exactly what the product wants, they're able to increase the quality and quantity of the crops. So this person, by having in the same place compared to previous years, he reported having a better amount of yields.
So does your system include agricultural models? Because every crops needs a specific entrance at different stage of their development. So this is something that only the agriculture knows about. So are you helping him to take the right decision at the right time?
Yeah, so at the moment we mostly give them the information so they can take the right decision. We definitely do tell them what we think they should be doing, but at this point it's them that have to take the decision to do what they think is best.